It's on hiatus.
Hey, this segment, opening segment is brought to you by Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, Mustang Survival, Daiwa Rods and Reels, and Biobor Fuel Treatment. I'm Gary McCoy in the studio with Dumb and Dumber, and on the road today, live from the registration of the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash at Lake Sam Rayburn. It's the other Dumb and Dumber. It's Steve Graff and Mike Eckel. Hello, boys.
Hey, how can you be laughing that much without us in the studio? What have y'all got?
Wait a minute. You've forgotten.
Have you got your clothes on?
You've forgotten how much of an adventure it is getting us on the air every week, right?
I haven't forgotten, but I thought after like this many years they would learn.
No. And they wake up in a new world every day.
I mean, it's like you got to have a degree to run our show.
Hey, well, yeah.
Well, you got to have a fever.
A degree of something.
Yeah, like Mike said, a fever. You have a temperature.
So you got, now listen, when did registration actually begin there?
It started about 10:30 this morning, 10:30 this morning. They have long lines, I think 2 lines at each trailer, and right now they're about probably 25, 30 deep at each one, and people signing up, man.
Well, exactly where are you? I mean, Lake Sam Rayburn is kind of a big place.
We're at Humphrey Pavilion right here, at the which is the main boat ramp for Lake Sam Rayburn Resort, and so we're right here at the main one. This is where it's at each and every year. It's just right down the road from Need More Tackle and the Stump, where everybody goes and eats lunch over here. I mean, it's just right down the road from all that. All this stuff's right here together.
Okay. So now, as far as the registration goes, we're talking you can fish 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, or just 1 day, right?
Yeah, you can pick either one. You can fish all 3. You can sign up for all 3 at one time, or you can fish them each day, depending on your schedule. And one thing I didn't realize, Mike, and kind of Bob alluded to it a while ago, and he was going over all the rules with the crowd here, is that you don't have to get up if you don't want to get up at the break of dawn and go out there and try to kill. You can get out there at 10 o'clock. I mean,
that ought to be against the law in a fishing tournament.
Well, I agree. I can't imagine waiting until 10 to go fish, but oh well.
Well, now, question for you. He was telling me, I want to say 2 weeks ago, he's got some pretty big names that are coming to play music there for people that might want to show up for the weigh-ins or like, the parties each night of the event.
Yeah, we don't know who those are.
You don't?
It's Homer and Jethro are playing Friday night, and Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs will be here Sunday night.
Hey, I'm sending you Dumb and Dumber over there to do tricks on stage.
Now, we got Bob coming in here.
Wrestle a bear.
Yeah, exactly. We got Bob coming in here at the next segment. Bob's going to give us all the details on that and what's going on. And we're also going to get a little history on this whole event, Gary, and how it all got started. Bob's going to give us his take on how this whole thing got started with Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash Series. And then we'll bring Bob back later in hour 2, and we'll talk about the huge prize package that's going to be affiliated with this event. $1 million are given away, just absolutely incredible. Mm-hmm. But you talking about the music, they are setting up, this year, which I've been here in years past, and they never had a big, fancy, it looks like like I said, a major, obviously there's some major artists coming in here, recording artists, because they got a big-time stage set up over here on the left.
I think Justin Moore is going to be there.
I think you're right. I think it is one. I know Bob's son's coming in, also from Las Vegas. He'll be here as well. And
speaking of stars
and trash.
I say stars. I see Mike Wheatley and Bob Seeley walking up, but they think Bob's going to walk right in front of the camera. Look at there.
No. Hey, we're okay. We got the wide angle on.
Hey, I got to know, is Cupcake in the studio?
Yes, he is.
Ask him how his butt is.
We're getting a little personal on this show now.
You know what? We haven't told anybody that Cupcake actually last week after the show let us tase him.
Yeah.
Right in the old badonky-donk there.
Yeah. I hit him with half a second with my taser right on the left butt cheek. And if it's a good thing the hall was a dead end, or he would have run to Little Rock.
Yeah. Did you ever get that tape edited so you can put that on Facebook?
It's not suitable for kids. So it's our show gets out there a little bit, but it's always family friendly.
Well, so cut the sound out. Let's put the video on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
People like seeing idiots get tased.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Oh, we got to do that again. Also on today's show, we're going to with Mike McClellan, Elite Series Pro Mike McClellan, recent champion from Table Rock, and I assume that there is something going on in his world that you're dying to know, Steve Graff.
I don't know. What would that be?
I have no idea. You set him up, so I'm figuring, okay, Stevie's got an angle on this one.
No, it's just he's the recent winner of the last Elite Series, Mike McClellan, and we've had Mike on before. Mike came in for Mike Eccles, as a matter of fact, for the Big Bass tournament, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, he couldn't fill my shoes.
Well, no.
Actually, Mike McClellan did come down two Januaries ago for the State Fair Big Bass tournament that we had, and was on stage with us during the weigh-in. And a super nice guy, and did a great job helping us on stage that day. So he's going to be a pleasure to be on. It's going to be a great interview.
Mike is always a great interview, and that's one reason I wanted to get him on as well, just because not only is he a great interview, he's a great fisherman, and again, huge win for him at Table Rock. And it's going to kind of lead us into Toledo Bend coming up next week, and hopefully next week I'm planning on having Mark Davis. Mark Davis will be coming on as well to give us his take as to what it'll take at Toledo Bend.
Do you know Mark Davis came with Denny Breyer and a couple other guys to Heartland 1010 last year, and I would have never thought it. Tommy Brown said he had to wear a girdle for his stomach muscles. He said he's never laughed so hard in his life as laughing at Mark Davis, and I would have never taken Mark, a very quiet, very religious man,
country boy,
had been as funny, but Tommy Brown said he's never laughed so hard listening to some of the antics that Mark Davis has pulled and got away with.
Well, Mark's old school.
And didn't wind up on YouTube.
Exactly. But he's leading Angler of the Year. That's another reason I want to have Mark on next week. He's leading right now after 3 tournaments, and so looking forward to having Mark on as well.
Also, on today's show, we've got our buddy Johnny Geist is coming in. He's going to give us another lake report from Lake Fork, let us know what's going on there, and a tip of the week. And I assume, that since the lower temperatures have finally kind of moved out of the scene here, that things are really starting to heat up on Lake Fork. Have y'all heard basically the same stuff there on Rayburn?
Well, yeah, but have you said that low temperatures have moved out. Have you looked ahead to next week?
No.
Back down in the 40s.
You're kidding.
Is it really?
That's what somebody told me last night. This never-ending winter we have here. Back down in the 40s next week.
Wow.
I'll pull up Channel 12. I want to see that. That's incredible.
It's going to snow on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Hey.
I do remember, golly, it must have been 20 years ago. It snowed in April here. It wasn't one that stuck, but it did snow in April. It killed a lot of fruit trees.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah?
Mike is right. God, that's a miracle.
What?
He's right.
No, it's only a miracle that you admitted it.
Next Wednesday, the low temperature is 46 degrees.
Drum roll.
And 46 on, no, I'm sorry, it jumps back up to 60-something, looks like on Thursday. So, yeah, got a little cold front coming through next week.
Hey, give me a little heads up here as to what's going on with the Natchitoches CCA event.
Hey, that's coming up this coming week. Matter of fact, I've got some information on that right here in front of me. It's at the Natchitoches Event Center, May the 14th. It's the CCA. It's a new CCA chapter, matter of fact.
What is CCA?
Coastal Conservation Association.
Okay, gotcha.
Redfish and nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Redfish,
like
speckled trout.
Conservation.
But anyway, they started an organization, or a chapter there in Natchitoches, and Mike Wheatley's belly is now on TV. Okay. All right. Now we're clear now, Gary.
Y'all thought it was an eclipse, didn't you?
Talk about a blood moon.
Yeah, he does have a red shirt on today, matter of fact, so people are going to get a little confused. But anyway, cocktails start at 6 o'clock at this particular event. Mike's there. He said he's there already. Dinner at 7:30. They have an auction that will begin at 8 o'clock. It's $60 per person, $480 per table of 8. And so you can bring the whole McCoy clan.
It says right here you can get a spouse for $30. I didn't know they were that cheap.
Yeah, you can get a spouse for $30 if you need somebody to be, your spouse that night. Or you can pick up a kid.
I want a youth. I want the young spouse.
Yeah, you can pick up a kid for $25. So, but anyway.
So we got a little bit more on that coming up. Oh, yeah. And I got to remind you guys, because this one's near and dear to me. Jimmy Houston actually was the one who first told me this was going on when we talked to him a couple of weeks ago. The Houghton Adventure Weekend.
Right.
Next weekend, Thursday, May the 1st through Sunday, May 3rd, several different events. That Thursday night, they've got Student Night. They're going to be doing that at the Houghton High School football field. Then Women's Night Out. They'll do that next Friday night, May the 2nd. They're going to do that at the Central Assembly, the Church of the Cross. Then the Outdoor Family Fest. That's going to be in the parking lot there at Houghton High School. The Men's Extraordinary Sports Event. That's where Jimmy Houston is going to be. He's going to be there, and at the Outdoor Fest, he'll do all kinds of demonstrations and speak for us. That's going to be Saturday night at the First Baptist Church at Houghton, and then the Celebration Rally, Sunday evening, May 3rd, 6 o'clock, Houghton High School football field, community-wide, multi-church event. It's going to feature a free RV giveaway. Beat that one.
Wow.
RV. And Willie Robertson is going to be there to speak. They've also got a Dove and Grammy Award winner, musician, songwriter, author, and actor Jason Crabb. He's going to be there. And Jay Lauder, the keynote speaker, he'll share the message of hope for the entire community. Any information on that you need, you can call them at 949-0401, 318-949-0401. And I did see that they've got a website, HoughtonAW.com. HoughtonAW.com.
You said Jay Leno was going to be there? I'm sorry. Was that right?
No, Jay Lauder.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jay Lauder.
Okay.
They don't even know each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my mistake.
They're both mothers, but brothers from different mothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went to different schools together, though.
Exactly. That's what I heard. Yeah, anyway. So all that, and you guys are going to have Bob Seeley for us up next, give us a little bit more information about what's going there as far as entry fees, fishing times.
Yeah.
What are you thinking it's going to take to win this year?
Well, yeah, it's funny. Me and Mike were kind of talking when we got closer to the lake here. But I was just telling him how tough it's gotten over here. I'm anxious to see the quality of fish that are brought in here because I know Rayburn it seems like, in my opinion, has gone down a little bit in terms of quality. But I got a feeling with as many people that are fishing this event, somebody's going to catch a big one. It's going to take, I think, a 10-plus, Gary.
There's going to be an 11-pounder yawn one morning.
Yeah.
And suck a hook in.
Yeah, he may be right.
Bob's saying 11.
Bob's saying 11.
I'm with you, Bob.
I wonder what the biggest fish ever won that event was.
He'll tell us.
Bob will tell us that.
Okay.
We're going to get a little history from Bob here in the next segment. So
Okay.
if you'll just be patient, Gary, it'll come.
You know what? You pay me the big bucks to ask the tough questions.
Bob said tase you. Gary's not volunteering for that.
But you know what? Cupcake is still here.
Well, he's still alive.
Yeah,
I was worried about him having a heart attack.
I've still got my taser. Eccles took his, but I've got mine. Mine's bigger than Eccles was. Round 2 today.
Story of my life.
Amen. Hang on, more on the way. It's the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash. The guys are at Lake Sam Rayburn right there at Humphrey Pavilion. We'll check with them again in just a moment. It's hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger. Hey guys,
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452. You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Sandtone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as trap, skeet, live stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? That's like wearing your high school Letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
This segment presented by Nichols Department Stores, Toledo Fiberglass, Paul's Farm and Garden, and J&J Exterminating. Got pests? Call J&J. Speaking of pests, here's Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
Hey, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Why does he always say my name first when he says pest?
Well, dude, I mean, nobody's told you?
You made the high score on the test.
Yeah, really? The first time I've ever made the high score on a test.
Gold star, baby.
Gary,
Yes, sir.
are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm just checking.
By the way, Gary, this is the Bob Seeley.
To whom I'm speaking.
Are you breathing, bro?
Yeah, buddy.
Okay,
Gary, this is the Bob Seeley show, by the way. Just want to let you know.
Of course it is.
We're going to turn it over to Bob here in a minute.
Oh, don't know.
Last weekend, Bob, was it last weekend or the weekend before you were hanging out with my good friend Tammy?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
How many female good friends do you have?
A lot.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. And I'm gaining one or two every day.
Is it because of
Tase this, Jack. Anyway.
Where exactly are you guys? You're at Lake Sam Rayburn. You're at the pavilion, and you're knee-deep in registrations, right?
We got people registered. Thank goodness. I'm so happy.
They're coming in here by the busload.
Let me tell you, a lot of people that are registering right now, they're from Tennessee, New York, Oregon, California, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. I mean, we got a lot of our out-of-staters are here. You know, a lot of them started coming in last Friday. You know, they're staying here almost 10 days, some of them. Wow.
We just spoke to a guy from other side of Oklahoma City. He said he's been fishing it since the 25th anniversary.
Right.
And he says we come every year a week early.
Yeah, and I just talked to two guys. We met them at our Kentucky Lake tournament last year.
Right.
And they said, he said, it's too good to be true. You're really going to give away over $1 million. I said, yeah, I am. And he said, man, we took off week for a whole week just to come down here. He said, if we don't catch anything, just to see a tournament give away actually what they say they're going to do, he said it was worth the trip down here.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
That makes you feel good, doesn't it?
That's a testimony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really
and
is.
it does. It does make me feel good.
Well, when we came in here this morning, we drove over here. We came right by the ramp, Gary, and I'm telling you, it looked like a major tournament was going on already. The parking lot is full of boat trailers over here right now.
To the road.
To the road, and even a couple over here in Bob's parking lot over here where they're setting up. I was like, there's got to be something else going on. I guess all these people are pre-fishing, huh, Bob?
Well, some of them are, and if you look at the license plates, a lot of them are out of state because a lot of them have never been down here before. You know, and the neat part about it, that's what the economic impact is for an event like this in our county, and matter of fact, all 5 counties that surround this lake. You know, Texas Parks and Wildlife did an economic study when we did our 25th, and it didn't come from me now. This came from Parks and Wildlife. We generated in 5 days $17.4 million in economic impact in around Lake Sam Rayburn, the 5 counties.
That's a lot of gas and cheese.
And that was just for a regular event?
That was our 25th anniversary.
the last $1 million event. Okay.
Yeah. On a normal year, according to Parks and Wildlife, we'll generate somewhere between 6 and 7 million. But on an anniversary year, it more than doubled. You know, and you know with the entertainers that we have coming, Josh Turner.
Hey, I was going to say, run through that list real quick.
Well, Josh Turner comes on at 5:30 p.m. Friday. Then we have a lot of other entertainment. We got some, I got a singer-songwriter from Nashville by the name of Drew Haley. She's coming. She's written several #1 songs for other artists. I've got my oldest son, who is one of the top musicians in Phoenix, Arizona, and then he and his band, they play in Vegas every once in a while. He's coming. I got Casey Ashley, who happens to be a Bassmaster Pro Elite guy, who also has a recording contract.
And I heard him sing at Toledo Bend a few years ago when you had Gerald over there.
He's going to be singing here, too.
Hey, he's good.
Yeah, and then we have the Lou Duncan Band from Alabama that's going to be here. And so they're going to,
What about this one, Chris Young?
Chris Young's coming Sunday. He's
Sunday,
the grand finale, buddy. And, this is all free, Gary.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Stop right there. I think you just messed up. You said that was free.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the concerts and festivals.
Do you know what it costs to go see Chris Young?
Yeah, I paid for him. I know what it costs Josh Turner, too, bro.
I need you to clarify that now.
No, that's serious.
I think you made a mistake when you said it costs no money at all to come there.
No, it does not cost a dime to come to the concerts and see these performers.
Wow.
None. None. I even have shuttle buses. No, yeah, I got shuttle buses running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now. But 5:30 p.m. is Josh Turner on Friday. Chris Young will end the grand finale of our show, and I should be through about 5 o'clock, and then I'll introduce Chris, and he'll come on. And we're going out with a bang. And in addition to that, I don't know if you know this or not, but Kevin Van Dam and Randy Howe both will be here on Sunday.
Singing?
No,
We're going to do a duet, Mike.
No, but let me tell you, Gerald Swindle's going to be here Saturday, and he'll sing.
If you've ever seen him with a microphone on the stage,
He's going to weigh fair Saturday.
oh my gosh.
Oh, y'all might as well get ready. But
I'm
anyway,
telling
the winner of this tournament, their trophy will be presented by Kevin Van Dam and Randy Howe.
Oh, my gosh,
So,
what an honor.
and then we've got a lot of the other Bassmaster Elite dudes. My daughter and I went over to Toledo Bend and got with Linda Curtis Sparks and Jim Pratt at Sabine River Authority. And
Who do a great job, by the way.
oh gosh, yeah.
Yep.
And we explained to them this was our 30th anniversary, and we wanted a lot of the Bassmaster Elite guys to come to it. And ESPN had some ideas; they wanted to come to it. And so I said, well, what if we arranged an elite to be at Toledo Bend, and the first day of practice begins the day after our event? They said, man, if you can get that done, we will book it. So Nicole, my daughter and I, we went over there. We got with Jim Pratt, Linda Curtis Park, sat down, and 2 other people and said, look, here's the deal that we can offer. And boy, they jumped on it so fast. I mean, that's the reason why we've got a lot of the elite guys coming. And then, folks, let me tell you, next week, come to Cypress Bend and watch the Bassmaster Elite. And we are going to have our 30-foot trailer over there beginning Wednesday, and we're going to be doing registration
For the Toledo
Big Bass Splash, which is only 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it's next month.
Yeah. So, man, it was, timing could have been any better to time this deal and stuff and get things done. So Gary, despite what these guys think, I do work occasionally.
Well, I got a question now. How many places are you paying every hour of the tournament?
12 places, $3,000 down to $500 for the top 12 bass weighed in each hour. Now, there are some odd hours, and this is a side bonus deal for $5 a day extra. The 7 to 8, 9 to 10, 11 to 12, 1 to 2, we pay 15 places.
Wow.
So we add that, deal. There's $372,000 just in hourly payouts.
That's unbelievable.
But I love this one. The first person hit a 3, a 4, or a 5 pound exact weight each day, that's $10,000.
So it's normally been 5. If it's only been 5, Gary, he's up to another $5,000.
Yeah, that's another $90,000 total in 3 days. Now, Gary, let's say nobody hits a 4-0 on the first day. That $10,000 goes in a random draw between all contestants. I give it away regardless because it's part of the guarantee.
What? Now, do you do that each day, or do you do that on Sunday?
No, I do that on Sunday. Every contestant is eligible, whether they weigh in a fish or not, for 2 drawings for 2 boats.
Wow.
There's not another tournament that I know of that, I'm going to change somebody's life. I don't mind telling you. Because the biggest bass of this whole event will receive a brand new Ram truck, quad cab with a 21-foot Pro Elite TRX Triton, rigged out, power poles, hydro wave. It got it all. Minn Kota, Lowrance, plus a 32-foot Coachman motorhome and $40,000.
Good.
All of that. And if they have the Akuma rod and reel combo and they caught that winning bass on that combo, that's another $30,000 that Akuma will put up.
That's stupid money.
Yeah,
that is.
And River
That's
2C,
the money you get when you just get stupid.
Yeah, and River 2C will kick in another $1,000 if they use the river to sea bait. And then if you have a pro tournament saver in your boat and you win, they'll put in another $2,500. You know, I put a kind of pencil to this deal, and if they have a Triton and they win it, and that contingency money from Triton, because our tournament is recognized by Triton Go, do you know that for one bass, the whole kit and caboodle, a guy could walk out of here, or a lady could walk out of here with $287,000 for one bass?
You almost finished a sentence a while ago where you said no other tournament has done, and then you stopped. And I'm going to finish it. I'm going to rewrite it. There had probably not 3 tournaments combined in the world could have done what you're doing.
Right.
And not 3 tournaments combined are doing what you're doing down here.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I will tell you this 30 years has gone by fast, bro.
I'm going to say y'all totally screwed up my format for this show today.
I'm really sorry.
Good. I was not planning
You wanted to know some
history.
You wanted to know some history.
Yeah, I want to know it, but now we're going to have to wait to that segment to do what else we're going to talk about if we don't.
I don't think I'll run out of things.
What Steve doesn't understand is we're looking to make history this weekend.
You bet.
History will be made here.
Yeah.
Now, Gary asked a question a while ago.
Okay.
What's the biggest fish ever been weighed? In
That actually won or was weighed?
Well, I don't know. We know the story on the one that was weighed that didn't win.
Yeah, that was a 1564.
Good gosh. That was at Fork, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was an Oklahoma State trooper. You can't fix stupid. I've got a shirt that's coming out. Don't get offended when I tell you this.
Okay.
The first part says, read the rules, dumbass. And on the back of it says, you can't fix stupid. But I'm sorry. Lord, I apologize on that one.
You'll sell them.
No, the biggest bass that has, won one of my tournaments in 30 years was a 1374 right here on Lake Sam Rayburn.
Wow.
And that was in 1992.
Wow.
Exactly.
Was Rayburn on fire at that time?
Oh, let me tell you, 1993 when we were at Twin Knox Marina was the last year.
Yeah.
A 1294 won it, but we also had 7 more fish over 12.
Wow.
There was 9 fish over 11. I think we had 16 or 17 fish over 10, and I cannot believe to tell you how many 8s and 9s there were.
Can you imagine the story that some guy is telling right now? I caught a 12-pounder and didn't win.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's just sickening. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, Gary, because we're expanding. We're moving kind of east of the Mississippi. We've got a tournament in Lake Gunnersville in Alabama, which, by the way, has grown tremendously.
Yeah.
We got one more tournament we'll probably add, and that's Lake Chickamauga. So when we come back from the break, boy, I got a story to tell you about that lake.
We're going to say we got Mike McClellan coming back on in the second.
Mike's coming back?
Mike's coming back. You want to sit there with us?
Well, in other words,
you got a microphone and a headset.
No, Mike's my good friend. He deserves it.
He just won a huge tournament up there.
Let me tell you, I saw Mike and I fished. When I was fishing on Tour of Bass, he won back to back.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, won one in Arkansas and won another one the prior to that.
And a great guy.
Oh, a super guy. He really is. Okay, you
take it away. Take it away, Gary.
We'll be right back. Mo, Larry, and Curly are hanging out at Sam Rayburn. It's hooking up and tracking down 11:30. Tiger.
The 2014 Natchitoches Fishing Expo, May 3rd, 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Prather Coliseum on the beautiful NSU campus, right across from Chaplin's Lake. It's even bigger, even better than last year. Here's hoping to see you there.
The Natchitoches Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Victor Jones encourage all citizens to remember to be safe, buckle up, and remember, no texting.
Legendary quality, At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter and fisherman could want. Top name brands, Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Once again, back to you, Gary. This segment presented by Santone Lures, the Red River Waterway, and Vicious Fishing Line. Get vicious with the fishes. Now back to the guys who are the so-called experts of the outdoors, Steve, Gary, and Mike.
He can't make up his mind what we are today. I'm Gary McCoy in the studio all by my solo. Well, actually, I got the Cupcake in here and Stink Baits hanging out with me, and they're on the scene. Lake Sam Rayburn getting ready for the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash. Steve Graff and Mike Eccles are hanging out there. Guys, are y'all there?
We're here, baby.
Cool.
It's got a little cloud cover come over now. We're sitting here nice. We got a nice little tent set up. And
I'm thinking about stepping down the lake and make a cast.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Hey, question. Are you seeing any grass? Anybody talk about any grass at all in Rayburn?
There's something right outside this fence here, Gary. It looks like somebody... Why are you worried about that?
Hey, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Bid Lake on up to from like 5 fingers across, and due west going up the main lake up to 147 Bridge.
So like Coleman and Veach, they don't have any grass?
No, that's not. Oh yeah, from if you just drew a line across,
right,
all the way up to 147, we got all good grass and stuff up there. Now,
how far under?
Up to 14 foot.
Oh wow!
And then in addition to that, now Buck Bay has got, down the south end. That's one of the few areas that does have
on the south
nice
side.
grass on the south side.
There's probably 8 or 10 boats in there this weekend.
That's at the mouth. I don't know what's going to be at the back.
Yeah, we've got somebody that knows a little bit of something about fishing that grass. Elite Series Pro Mike McClellan just put it on him at Table Rock. Hello, sir.
Well, you talk about grass. There's not a whole lot of grass in Table Rock, so let's try to avoid that.
Now, on occasion, you might run across an old cedar tree out there at Table Rock, huh?
Yeah, there's a few cedar trees and some good old pole timber, and there's a lot of rock. That's kind of what we really strive for up there in the Ozarks, is that rock.
Well, we've got Bob Seeley. We're registering right now for the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash, and I think between him and Steve Graff, one of the two of them has a crush on you, Mike. I'm not sure.
Don't tell anybody else that.
All I can say is, Gary, he better show up at my event.
Yeah. Oh, well, give us a little bit of insight as to what went down at Table Rock. I mean, because for a lot of us that fish, basically just here in East Texas and North Louisiana. Now, I've had the privilege of fishing several tournaments at Table Rock and bull shows and shows in that area. The mindset that you approach when you're talking about water so clear you can read the date on a dime in 15 feet.
There is some truth to what you just said. However, generally this time of the year, you've usually got a little bit of color in the water, and that was a little bit of the key to the area that I caught the fish in that allowed me to win last for a couple weeks up there. Essentially, it was one of those deals that I ran up the slower part of the White River until I got to a point where there was just enough color in the water that I felt pretty comfortable. It wasn't like dirty thing that you could only see down probably, 3.5 to 5 feet. And that was kind of the key, was getting in that little bit of watercolor so you could actually, mask yourself and the fish were going to get a little bit shallower.
What was the weather like that particular week?
know, we kind of had a little bit of everything. I think I actually wore shorts one day of practice, but we really had a little bit of everything. It got down up low, right at freezing one night. We had rain, we had clouds, we had thunderstorms. So it was one of those weeks you really had to do a lot of different stuff to stay on top of what the fish were doing.
Have you ever noticed that you don't work any harder to win than you do to finish dead last?
You know, that's funny you say that because I'm down here at the Red River right now, and I feel like I've had 3 of the hardest days of work in my life trying to figure out how to catch a better fish down here on the Red. And you're right. It seems like when you win, it just kind of falls in your lap sometimes. I mean, I don't think you're going to win without working hard, but it doesn't seem like you have to work any harder to win than you do just to, like you said, finish dead last.
Amen. Well, you know, Steve Graff, you know, you might talk sweet to Steve. He knows where there's some fish on the Red right now.
Well, if I could get information, I'd probably take you up on that. I'd get myself in trouble.
Well, give us a little bit of help here on Sam Rayburn. These guys are getting ready to fish. We're talking $1 million over the course of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Probably you won't find any other 2 bass tournaments around, you know, for a weekend warrior that would pay that kind of money. What would you suggest to a guy that, you know, just off of your recollections, if you were going to hit the water completely blind right now, what would you do?
You know, the thing about that is you're fishing for 1 or 2 bites. I mean, I don't care how you look at it. You know, you can win some hourly money, but the whole key to that deal is catching, you know, the biggest bass you've ever caught in your life. And my deal down there would be I would be throwing a big old nasty worm or a big old swim bait or, you know, just a big old gnarly jig with a big old trailer on it. I think that's the key down there right now for the guys that are going to do well is, you know, throwing something bigger and just focusing on getting 1 or 2 bites for the weekend.
What about yourself? I mean, do you try to find a place off to yourself, some remote area, a pocket somewhere that nobody else is fishing, and then try to dissect that, or do you mind the traffic?
You and I both know when you put that many boats on Sam Rayburn, there's not many places that go unnoticed. So, you know, the biggest thing I think today is with the capabilities we have with our Navionics and our GPS and mapping and everything, I think you've just got to kind of allow everybody to be where they want to be and then try to find something a little bit different, a little subtle that people aren't concentrating on and, you know, hopefully find some brush or, you know, an old creek channel or something out there that the chances of a big one being are there. You know,
you bring up a really good point there. Again, Mike McClellan on the phone with us, just won here a couple of weeks ago, Table Rock Elite Series Pro Mike McClellan. And, you know, assuming that we've got somebody who might be entering on an amateur side, maybe a BASS Open, something along those lines, what kind of advice do you give that guy who's fishing as a non-boater? He's in the back of the boat. How does he need to approach that game?
You know, the biggest thing that I've seen from the non-boaters that are successful is they're the ones that are not afraid to do something completely different than their pro counterpart until the pro just absolutely shows them that what he's doing is the way to catch them.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of tow anglers in the back of my boat that get in the boat with the attitude that they're going to fish their way, and those guys are the ones that are successful. Now, you know, when you have one of those great days and things are working, it typically takes the tow angler, you know, doing something similar to what you're doing, but I still believe that guy will throw a little bit different bait, a little different presentation, or something than what the guy in the front of the boat's going to do. He's going to have a lot better chances of being successful.
How often have you actually picked up something from the co-angler?
You know, you would be really surprised by that. I mean, I've always told everybody that I talk to about fishing that I don't care who it is I get in the boat with, if they have any fishing experience at all, there's some little tidbit of information or something they're going to do through the course of the day that's going to make me say, hey, I never thought about that, or I've never done it that way. And I think that's the biggest problem that a lot of guys as fishermen have is they get caught up in the fact that they really think they know it all, and they don't keep looking for new methods and ways to catch fish.
Is there one particular method that you have just said, if they're biting that way, I'm out, I can't catch them that way?
I'm absolutely out on an Alabama rig. I mean, I feel like that's one of those things that should not even be allowed in competitive bass fishing, and it's something that I will not throw. I mean, I've picked it up a time or two when I felt like I was forced to in tournaments that you could throw it, and it's just something that I absolutely don't enjoy, and hopefully I'm never forced to throw it on the Bassmaster Elite Series for sure.
So there's no question in your mind as to whether or not that needs to stay outlawed in your circuits.
There's no doubt in my mind at all. I mean, I think that we've done the right thing at this point by not allowing it, and I really believe that, the purity of fishing is going to show through a lot more, and the way tournaments are won is going to be a lot more diverse than it would be had that Alabama rig been allowed into our circuit.
Where are you headed next?
We're here at the Red River for the remainder of the weekend to fish the Bass Open, and then we go to Toledo Bend for the Toledo Bend Elite Series event, straight from there to Lake Fork to fish the Toyota Texas Bass Classic, and then back to Arkansas for another Elite Series. So there's absolutely no rest for Mike McClelland over the next 4 weeks.
You got kind of lucky that you're not traveling to the Carolinas or down to Florida. I mean, everything seemed to line up perfectly for you.
There's no doubt it's kind of fallen into place the mid part of the schedule. Now, remember, we were in Florida earlier on in the year, so I had to make that trip once this year. But, being from Arkansas, different part of the United States, it's a great place to live, and it's an opportunity this year with the schedule being where it is to work out in my favor.
So good luck to you on the Red River. Now, question. Do you think you'll have something put together? I mean, is Mike McClelland's name one we need to start looking for?
The Red River is one of those places that I feel like anybody that puts their head down in a proper area and grinds has an opportunity to win. I mean, it's definitely got good quality fish in it. This time of the year, it's most definitely tougher than it is in, February and March, but I still feel like I've got a shot anytime you put me on the water, the way I look at it.
Amen. Well, I'll tell you what, until Guntersville this year, we still held the classic overall record, and of course that got kind of obliterated.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, and it's one of those deals that we've got some records in the books right now that are going to stand for a while. But it's like somebody said the other day, all records are meant to be broken. I've got a few of them that I hold right now in the Elite Series that I would like to see stay intact, but it's going to happen somewhere down the road.
Mike McClelland, thank you, brother. I really appreciate you hanging out with us. And Bob Seeley wasn't kidding. He said he better see you there at Lake Sam Rayburn as you're getting ready to head over for the Toledo Bend Elite Series.
You tell Mr. Seeley I'll do my very best to get over there and say
thank you again. Elite Series Pro Mike McClelland, just a couple of weeks ago, he picked up a big victory on Table Rock in northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, and, of course, getting ready for the Red River Open this weekend, then headed down to Toledo Bend. We got stuff happening all over. The big story for us this weekend is the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash. That's going on at Lake Sam Rayburn. That's where you'll find Steve Graff, Mike Eccles, and, of course, Bob Seeley is there. We're going to visit with them again here in just a minute. It's hooking up and tracking down 11:30, the Tiger.
Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups, and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, MidwayMarinaStMaurice.com, or call 318-646-0097. Natchitoches, Louisiana is known for its rich history, and when you talk car buying, Natchitoches Ford has the distinction of selling the very first Ford automobiles in Louisiana. That means they have been satisfying customers for a long time. Friendly people who will make sure you have a great car buying experience. Their no high pressure and hassle-free sales staff will do their best to offer you the best service possible when buying that new car or truck. Family owned and operated, Calvin Braxton Sr. and Jr. want to invite you to stop by and see the guys who started it all in Louisiana car buying at Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, just off the Highway 1 bypass in Natchitoches, or call them at 318-352-3677.
The 2014 Natchitoches Fishing Expo, May 3rd, 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Prather Coliseum on the beautiful NSU campus, right across from Chaplin's Lake. It's even bigger, even better than last year. Here's hoping to see you there.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? It's like wearing your high school letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
Back to the three amigos who are true legends, in their own mind, that is. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles. This segment presented by Cypress Knee Outdoors, Mr. Twister, Lake Fork Marina, and Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis. The only guide you'll need at Lake Fork. Take it away, Gary. Welcome back to Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
Okay.
Hey, look.
It's always an adventure around here.
It's like a Chinese fire drill in
Mike
there.
Eccles on the scene at Lake Sam Rayburn. They're getting ready for the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash. I'm Gary McCoy, along with Cupcake and Steakbait. We're here in the studio, and Steve, you want to tell us something about Lake Fork Marina and Motel, don't you?
We'll do that next week. We just burned about 4 or 5 minutes of this segment, so I'm going to go ahead. We're going to bypass that for right now. We're going to talk a little power pole with Casey Carpenter. And Casey, welcome.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Glad to have you aboard here at the Hooking Up Tracking Down show. And, yeah, make sure you hold it.
It works better when you take that mic out from under your armpit.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But anyway, well, Casey, you know, of all the accessories that have come out in the last 10 years, probably nothing took fire like the power pole did it?
Oh, it revolutionized the market. I mean, it was a niche market. We were able to capitalize on it, and it really served a purpose for these guys out here.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw one, I saw it on the boat, and I thought, how stupid. What do you need that for? Well, when you get one, you know why you have them.
You're spoiled.
Oh, my gosh.
You get one, you need two. You get two, and you're spoiled.
Oh, my gosh. But anyway, it's revolutionized anchoring and guys setting up on a hole. And now, let's talk a little bit about the different models that Power Pole offers.
Okay.
You take it from there.
Yeah, we've got several models. We've got Sportsman 2. That's basically going to be our lowest end model, $12.95, black anodized finish. Step up a model. You're going to do the Pro 2. It's going to be a 5-layer powder coat, black and white. The Blade 8 is going to be the next model up from there, and then the Blade 10. Now, all 4 of those units are Sea Monster, so they're wireless. They're really going to be the newest, greatest power poles that we have out there now. We just released the micro anchor for vessels 1,500 pounds or less. Basically, it's an all-electric anchor. All you need is a 12-volt power supply.
So that would be like for John boats,
kayaks, duck boats, aluminum flats,
pan
boats.
fishermen that just want to hang off the bank there, and
pond crawlers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of guys.
But is it a pole system or an anchor system? I mean, what is it?
It's basically, it is an anchoring system. It's an all-electric anchoring system that has an 8.5-foot fiberglass spike that runs up and down. And so it uses all of the same key fobs, dash switches, Sea Monster controllers as all of the products that we sell now. So they're interchangeable from pole to pole.
Yeah.
So if you had more than one vessel, say you had a kayak and you had a duck boat, you could buy a mount for each and basically switch it from boat to boat without having to have an anchor for each.
Right. So it's very versatile.
Exactly, very versatile. There's a lot of different ways to use it. You can deck mount it. You can mount it on an adapter plate. There's several ways of doing it.
Right. Let's back up to the very beginning here. Did this start out as a saltwater feature? Is that the mark y'all hit first, and then you took it to freshwater?
It did. Yeah. It started because John Oliverio, who's a redfish guy down in Tampa, and he just got frustrated being blown off schools of fish. You hook one, you get them on, get them in the live well. Well, you're now 50 yards away.
Exactly.
And so he basically, one thing led to another, and he had a great idea, and he implemented it, and 15 years later, this is where we're at.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, you hardly, especially on tournament guys, there's not a boat out there that doesn't have one of those two systems on it that are out there on the market today. They got at least one on their boat.
Exactly. And it really does revolutionize the way you fish, because it's not necessarily a tool that you use strictly for fishing. You can beach your boat with it, you can dock your boat with it.
Let me tell you, the first time I saw them, and everybody was just using one to begin with, I put it in the same category as the onboard charger. The first time I saw an onboard charger years ago, I thought, if you're too lazy to carry a battery charger with you, you don't need to be fishing. Until I got an onboard charger. Same way with the power pole. I said, who would spend this kind of money for an anchor? And when the Elite was down on Toledo Bend, about 3 or 4 years ago, and the lake was low, and I was working the Elite with bass, the boats came in, and they would stop 10 or 15 feet out. That's as close as they get. And run the power pole down, step out of the boat in a foot and a half of water. And I realized, I said, this is more than an anchor. And then the first time I had a set on a boat, I quit using ropes to tie up at a pier.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not a novelty, or the new would have worn off, and everybody wouldn't have two. Right. They've learned that it has changed the way they fish.
1 is good, 2 is great.
Yeah. And the first time I used them was, matter of fact, it was over here at Sam Rayburn. I came over here, and I had the system on my boat, and I'm like, okay, great. I'm sitting here fishing, and it's about 11 o'clock, and I decided I'm going to change baits. I had to retie. The wind was blowing about like it is today over here, which is always blowing over here, and it was blowing me off, and I was like, oh, man, put the poles down. It locked me down. I'm right there. I don't drift into the bank. I'm not trying to get out of the grass with the trolling motor, 5 minutes later after I've retied. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. I bet I used it 12 times that day.
Yeah, and it eliminates having to throw the anchor. It eliminates getting it snagged on rocks or losing anchors. I mean, there's so many different uses for them. And, down in the redfish guys absolutely love them because those fish are so spooky.
Right.
If you're going to toss a traditional anchor out there, not only are you going to scare the fish, but if it's in any seagrass, you're taking the seagrass with you.
Right.
And that's the habitat that they need.
Right.
So there's a lot of environmental use with it as well.
Now, what's the deepest water that you can anchor a bass boat in? And you said you had the Blade 8 and the Blade 10.
Correct.
So, is that 10 foot?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 10 foot you can anchor.
Yes, sir. So we have 4 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot, and 10 foot.
Who'd fish for bass deeper than 10 foot of water?
I don't know.
I've never even heard of that.
They got to be from Arkansas.
Mike McClellan.
Mike McClellan. What's anything on the horizon new with Power Pole? Is it going to be, where do you go to improve your product now? Is it new materials, different materials, lighter?
We're always evaluating. We're always looking to make processes better, to make products better, to always be self-evaluating ourselves. That's the best way to progress, in this industry. We do have a few things under our sleeve that we'll be releasing here in the next couple of months. Got to keep it a little close to the chest, but there are some good stuff coming. We have some pretty neat accessories out, stomp style foot switches, and there's a lot of neat accessories out there as well. If you have a old hardwired wiring harness power pole, you can actually...
One of the original units.
Yes, sir. You can actually upgrade that unit to the new wireless Sea Monster and get all of the features of the Sea Monster as well. Use your phone, use the app, and then get in there and really adjust the settings with it that way, too.
How many color variations are you offering now?
Well, for 4 color variations, black, white, blue, and red.
Okay.
And then
which covers most of the gamut of...
It does. And we actually just finalized a big powder coat facility in-house at Power Pole. And the goal in the future is hopefully to allow custom colors in the future.
I was fixing to say, here's what I see happening with this product. The college kids taking it to a whole new level. Maybe putting their logos, their school logo on there, painting it in school colors. That's what I can see, customizing, like you said.
Exactly.
Their power poles. And the college kids will be a little more aggressive in that area with colors. And
yep, exactly.
I see that happening.
Now, what about, I know there's been some issues in the past, the the drain from all the electronics on your battery. Some people have said a couple of years ago that they felt like this was pulling their batteries down. What changes have been made to reduce that? And does it require another battery if you're going to use your Power Pole a lot?
It does not require another battery, but we do recommend that they're put into an inline battery cutoff switch, a Perco switch of some kind.
Right.
That's the best way to do it. If you trailer the boat, you put it in the garage Sunday evening, you go back out Saturday, and you did not leave or kill that battery cutoff switch, as long as there's power running to the pumps, they'll draw amperage. So there is a possibility. So the best way to do it, to prevent that completely, is a battery cutoff switch. That's the best way to do it.
So it's the pumps not running, but do draw some amperage.
Some amperage. As long as there's a signal being sent, as long as there's power being sent to the pump, it will draw amperage. As long as the lights on the top of the pumps are blinking, it's drawing power.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gary, you got any questions about power pole on your end?
Well, I'm just wondering, as far as, when the powder coating comes out, I mean, when you say custom coloring, obviously, I mean, you really don't have much of an insight now, but I mean, are we talking about, anything metal flake? Could we get really creative to really match the boat truck combo?
I hope in the future that is the ultimate goal. They're still trying to finalize the processes and everything with the powder coating. It really was finished in October. I myself haven't heard too much about what they're trying to offer, but the consensus around the shop is that, we want to try to offer as many options to these guys as possible because, there are guys out there that want to try to match them, that want to try to, be unique and stand out.
Okay, I got an idea for you.
Okay.
You remember where you got it.
Okay.
Purple and gold with a big eye of a tiger on the side of the top.
That's what I'm talking about. Cool colors. I see college university color combinations and doing little things like that, or putting LSU down the pole. Being creative. Whether it's a graphics or a decal system or whatever. I can see that happening.
Well, I mean, the guys are spending so much now getting their boats wrapped. I mean, you could still right now get your power poles wrapped.
You can. We do offer wraps. We do offer wraps. We have several different, variations of them out there, from tarpon scales to redfish scales to glitter flakes. So there are different ways of doing it. And I think with the, the popularity of the college tournaments taking off, I think that really does open up a whole new window for us.
Right.
Fantastic.
Casey Carpenter here with Power Pole. I want to thank you, Casey, for stopping by. And
thank you, guys.
I know you're going to do a lot of business here at the Bob City event this weekend. So again, thank you for your time.
We'll be over there in a minute to pick up our demo model.
There we go. Yeah. Appreciate it, guys.
I got my pickup right here. And, can't miss it with the logo. So
good deal.
Back there.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Casey. All right, Gary.
The guys are live right now. Lake Sam Rayburn, the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash competition gets underway Friday. It'll run Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Over $1 million in payouts. We're going to have more on that tournament, the history of the tournament, a little more with Bob Seeley on the way. Here in just a minute, though, a little more information in regards to the Natchitoches CCA event that's coming up May the 14th. And don't forget, any of the show that you missed today or any time in the future, we keep all the archives on the website. That's HUTD, hookuptrackdown.net, or on the Facebook page, facebook.com/hooking up and tracking down. That's where we are. Hooking up and tracking down 1130, the Tiger.
Welcome back to this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down Tip of the Week. I'm Ranger Boat Pro staffer Steve Graff. With Hooking Up and Tracking Down, we've got several great product sponsors. One of them, Vicious Fishing Line, one of the best fishing lines on the market today. They make all different kinds of lines. They make monofilament, they make a braid, make a great fluorocarbon, but they also have a fourth one that a lot of people don't realize, copolymer. Copolymer is a fishing line that's between monofilament and fluorocarbon. It's got a little bit of stretch to it, but not quite the stretch that monofilament has. So if you're looking for a great all-around fishing line, this is an outstanding line for spinner baits. I use it a lot with my spinner baits. Just a good all-around line for any type of the crankbaits, spinner baits, whatever you want to use it for. This is a good all-around line. It's called the Ultimate by Vicious. Check it out at Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, Cypress Knee Outdoors, or Toledo Town and Tackle.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities such as trap, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecour Bridge. You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana. too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter, and your heating and air conditioning system is burning holes in your paycheck, you need to call Luke at Guy Heating and Air.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Hello, I'm Troy Unbehagen. We at Natchitoches Nursing and Rehabilitation proudly support and watch TV17's local programming.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT. Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452.
The 2014 Natchitoches Fishing Expo, May 3rd, 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. at Prather Coliseum on the beautiful NSU campus, right across from Chaplin's Lake. It's even bigger, even better than last year. Here's hoping to see you there.
Again, back to the three amigos who are true legends in their own mind, that is. Gary McCoy and Mike Eccles.
My name is Gary McCoy, and you'll find me today right here in the studios of 1130 The Tiger. Our guys, the real rock stars, are on location with Bob Seeley hanging out, getting ready for the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash, which is on Lake Sam Rayburn. Pumpy Pavilion is where they are, and they're going to be there for the next hour. Guys, you know, something just occurred to me before we actually discuss the Natchitoches CCA here in a minute. Something occurred to me. You know, there's going to be a lot of guys who are there to fish the tournament this weekend. And they're going to fish all 3 days. They're going to fish and it doesn't take a whole lot of wind to make Sam Rayburn real fun to be on. You're going to fight a trolling motor. You're going to be making casts real solid for 3 days. And just the physical toll that gets on somebody who might not be prepared for that. I mean, how does somebody prepare, you know, in advance of a situation like that? What do you think?
Well, I know from my perspective, you know, fishing over here as much as I have the last few years, and Mike has a lot of experience over here as well, this is a place here in Toledo Bend. Toledo Bend used to not be as bad, but with all the timber gone now at Toledo Bend, it's just a wide open ocean over there. It physically, it's just sometimes just to get to your spot is an absolute grueling grind and just torture, beating your body to death just to get you where you're trying to get to catch your fish. That's what plays a role over here is your wind comes into play now when you make a decision. Well, am I running all the way up past 103 Bridge? No, 20, 25 mile an hour winds will keep you from doing that here. So it's a physical beat down over here, Mike. I mean,
That's the reason the older you get, the more you trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
And I've gotten on to BASS, the weekend series that I fish.
Oh boy,
they don't allow trailering, and every circuit that I know of is allowing trailering now, but they have yet to jump on board with that. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of guys that have gotten so upset they don't even want to fish over here because of that now. Because Bass Champs is doing it, all your major FLW is even doing it. They got some major circuits that are doing it now, and there's no excuse. You're talking about guys that do this. We don't do it for a living. We're doing it for fun. And when I got to run out here on Sam Rayburn, go across that dam right there with 4 and 5 foot, rollers, it ain't fun.
What's the weather looking like right now? Obviously, I mean, we're on a warming trend, but I mean, wind-wise.
It's the winds.
we just had to tie our tent down.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was one little gust.
It was a gust of wind that came up here, but overall. But real quick, Gary, we've got Brandy Rainey here. She is with 10H Marine, and she is a pro staff and inside salesperson. And Brandy's going to talk a little bit about, of course, y'all offer hot foots, we offer jack plates, you offer, and tell them about the product you just took over as well.
Well, right now we're doing the G-Force handle for your trolling motor.
Yeah.
We've got the G-Juice also.
Yeah, Gary, have you seen the G-Force handle?
No.
It goes on your trolling motor. It's a cable. It's not.
It's a cable.
Yeah, it is I bought one 2 weeks ago, matter of fact. Ordered it, had it shipped in. I hadn't put it on my trolling motor yet, but awesome handle.
And very easy to install. If I can install it, anyone can install it.
Well, come to my house and install mine here in about 2 hours.
Yeah, I can see her showing up at your house. You ought to see this girl, Gary.
Hey, I know how to pick them, Gary. I know how to pick them.
I will be there in, an hour?
Okay. Now, Brandy, you said a handle, but it's a cable. Is it a control handle, or is
it's a handle. It replaces your rope.
To pull rope.
Right.
Joey Hood got one on his boat, and I thought he made it.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He said, I bought it. And he said, I'm so tired of breaking the rope.
You're snapping the rope, that's correct.
Pulling it up. And this is a 3/16 cable or something, I'm not sure.
Well, you can shorten the cable, but once you shorten it, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can shorten the cable. It can be cut.
And it's a rubber coated cable.
Yes, it is.
It is nice.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Never break a rope on a troll motor again.
That's correct.
Oh my God.
What took y'all so long?
Yeah. Where have y'all been? Jeez. Okay, well, you got some other product out as well.
Well,
just took over a company.
Well, actually, we've got the G-Juice, which used to be the U2 formula.
Right.
So we've got that now, along with the oxygenator systems.
Right.
So we're carrying all of that right now.
Well, I'm about out of water. You got any of that now?
We got some of that.
Now, Gary,
that might cost you, though.
I'm a huge oxygenator fan. I've had it in my Ranger boat I've got now. It was installed when I got it. And if you don't have that system in your boat, I've had co-anglers that have fished with me that are absolutely amazed. When I've had guys when I put them on the scales. Porter Trimble, who's our weighmaster, he knows when I put them out, they are as alive in July as they are in February.
Right.
It's amazing what that system does for your fish.
Let me iterate something right now. As a small-time tournament director, one of the issues that I have with some of the anglers is they think when they put their boat on the bank, their responsibility is over.
No.
Yeah,
That's not true.
No,
you are responsible for your fish until you get to the
that
scales.
Is correct.
Now, we do what we can, but this system is one more step to keep your fish alive.
Right.
And it is not the tournament's responsibility when you hit the bank.
No, it's not.
And what you're talking about, it's going to virtually eliminate a dead fish penalty.
And it's good to get it going before you get out there and have your G-Juice in there and get it, the water going.
Right. It's almost, if you're a tournament guy, it's almost stupid not to have one.
Right.
What is the G-Juice?
It's a rejuvenate in a sense. I mean,
but it's liquid.
It's liquid. And we have samples over there we're giving away.
Is what I heard.
I'm sorry?
7-Up, Mountain Dew.
What's he talking about?
I think he's mixing a drink. I'm not sure.
I don't think you want to drink the G-Juice, but if you do, let me know how it tastes.
You said it was rejuvenate. I mean, we're all pushing 40 now.
40? Let's go a little higher than that.
That's it. I turned 40 11 months ago.
All right.
But we are giving samples away of it, so if you stop at the TH Marine booth, grab a sample, try it out. Then we've got them in all different sizes, and we've got saltwater, freshwater.
Right. Now, Gary, this is the company, and I've got them on my boat. They've got one of the best safety features I think's ever been invented, and that's the hot foot. It allows you to keep both hands on the steering wheel instead of having to fight the steering wheel and try to drive your boat with the throttle control. You put it in gear and go, just like you're driving your car, your truck, whatever. That's one of the best things ever invented.
Right.
I think one of the best safety features that's ever come out. And you also got the jack plates, which
the Atlas.
I have the Atlas.
Only way to go. Only choice.
Oh my gosh.
How many different sizes in the Atlas?
We have a micro, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Yeah.
I mean, 14 now, too.
Right.
Yes.
Right, for your bigger boat, probably the 22 footers.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, I have one on my boat, and man, it's awesome.
They're easy. I mean, you don't have to oil them. Really, all you're supposed to do is, do the sides, wash them with Dawn, and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But you really need to take care of it and wash them when it comes out of the water to clean any debris.
Right.
I mean, and it should run pretty smooth.
And you said wash your jack plate.
Well,
with
the sides, the rods, that slide them down, wash them with Dawn. That's all you got to do.
Why the Dawn? Because it's a degreaser, or
that, and it gets all of the debris. You never know when you're in the water what's getting on.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Hey, I'm sold. I mean, where do I sign?
Come by the booth.
Come by the booth. There you go. Well, what else? What other products y'all have? So you have some shirts, some caps.
We have some shirts and caps because we get so many requests from people wanting some TH.
Right.
But if you're running an Atlas and you don't have an Atlas shirt, we're not getting charged for that. Just come by and get you an Atlas shirt.
Oh, I'll be by there when I get through there.
Yeah, if you're. Now we're kind of small on sizes, so you better get over there.
What's she
just
saying?
called you heavy.
I was supposed to say. What's she trying to say?
She just said you were heavy.
You have a maternity size.
We might have one. Well, I'm not going to say the size. I have one left, I think, of the 2X.
Okay, do not give it away.
Okay, I'll put it back for you.
Okay, thank you. All right, got that taken care of. Now, anything new on the horizon?
We're actually really, really working on our LED lights, the underwater lights.
Oh, yeah.
We have compartment lights. We're really putting those out there now. The strip lighting. So.
And that's the latest and hottest thing right now.
Oh, yes.
Add no
the fishermen want lights on everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Light the world up.
We have them in white, red, blue, and green.
Okay.
So.
Now, Gary, just so you'll know, Brandy is also one of the people in charge of making decisions on sponsorship opportunities. So, yeah.
So here on national radio.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Here on national radio, we're going to put her on the spot.
Don't say that.
But I'm going to get her a packet, Gary, and she's going to take it back and sit down with her powers that be and see if we can't pull something off here. What a great fit.
We are really impressive with all 3 of our listeners.
Exactly. Oh, we got 4 today.
Yeah, we do.
Mike had another one walk up a while ago. Well, it's number 4 from Halton. He's from Halton, Gary, your neck of the woods.
See?
Yeah.
I told y'all when you brought me aboard this show, I command a large audience.
They let this guy out of jail, I think, to come over here. So.
No, he's our buddy. He's our buddy.
But anyway, well, Brandy, again, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem. You did a great job, and looking forward to seeing what all T&H Marine has coming out in the future. And will y'all be over at the Bassmaster Elite Series? Do y'all set up over there as well?
Oh gosh, they send me
next week.
Yes, at Toledo.
Toledo.
I've got some. I'm not sure what all they're sending. We have another guy going out there for that one, but yes, we will be there.
Okay, well, good deal. So look for them over there at Toledo Bend. We're going to be there next week as well. We're going to be at Kurt Carver's Toledo Town and Tackle doing a live show there next week. So, but if you're going to Toledo Bend, stop by and see the Atlas booth over there. It'll be at Cypress Bend Park is where they're going out of, where the Elite Series will be going out of. So stop by and see whether it's Brandy or whoever's there. Stop by and see them and look at the great product. I'm telling you, if you want a new trolling motor handle, the G4, that's the best way to go. That's the best way to go.
Along with the call system.
Oh yeah, I saw your culling system over there. Now, does that have the scales included too?
Yes.
It does?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't look at that. I need to look at that when I go back over there. Good deal. Gary, anything you want to say?
No, sir.
All right.
You've covered everything.
Well, we have covered everything.
Job.
I even got a T-shirt out of the deal.
Hey, as long as you make sure she knows we have one slot left for sponsorship.
That's true. One slot.
I might have heard that one a time or two. Yeah.
Hey, stay close now. Here in just a sec. Lake Fork guy Johnny Geis getting a fishing report from Lake Fork. And our tip of the week, it's next. Hooking up and trekking down. 11:30, the Tiger.
Some things just stay the same, but not Toledo Town and Tackle. Still the best selection of tackle on the bend. Zoom, dive with Gene LaRue and Sam Tone. Now, double the size of the original store, you have twice as much to choose from. With a new deli serving the best hamburgers, pizza, and soft drinks, you'll find something that's sure to fill your belly. They also have a great selection of tees and polo-style shirts. So stop in and treat yourself to the best tackle box on the Bend. Toledo Town and Tackle on beautiful Toledo Bend Lake. Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, midwaymarinastmaurice.com, or call 318-646-0097.
Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had 3-wheelers, I've had 4-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchez, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchez.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
Take it away, Gary. Speaking of Lake Fork, Steve Graff, you got some wonderful things to say about Lake Fork, do you not?
Yes, I do. If I can get to the page here, let me...
Nobody has better accommodations or a better place to grab some breakfast.
That's exactly right. And nobody does it like Lake Fork Marina right there. They've got several places, great new facilities, revamped cottages and everything else over there, but no one does it better than Lake Fork Marina. I got Sam Rayburn on the brain here. Anyway, Tiffany's restaurant right there on the grounds at Lake Fork Marina. Great place to have a lunch. Great, one of the best burgers you'll ever have. The marina also has great selection of baits and tackle, top name brands like Strike King and Santone lures. Santone is a huge display, and that was a sponsor of our show. If you need a guide for the day, make sure to ask for one guy. There ain't but one guy to ask for. His name is Johnny Geis. I think you got him on the phone with us now, don't you, Gary?
Oh, amen. Johnny Geis, best guide on Lake Fork. And you know what, Johnny, we were just talking about the weather a minute ago, and Steve told me, he said, if you look to next week's weather, we're getting back down into the 40s next week.
Well, I tell you what, it's warm today. It was the hottest day we had so far yesterday, but it's going to be another one.
Yeah. What's it looking like right now? I mean, the boys say that there's a little bit of wind blowing at Sam Rayburn. How are you looking at Fork?
Oh, it was almost too slick yesterday, and when it's that way on this lake, fight it up. Kind of day after the little front went through. Today we got a little bit of a wind coming out of the south. Now it's just perfect.
Oh, see, that's what I love. You know, that 5 to 8 mile an hour wind straight out of the south, and little chop on the water, and just that bluebird day. Is there something that you do to try to assure yourself of success when you see those kinds of conditions? Bluebird, no wind, no nothing.
Well, I tell you, that's the hardest day I have, and I tell the customers we're going to enjoy a beautiful day on the water, but fish aren't going to bite. And to answer your question, just you know, the way you do it in the tournament, we downsize on line. We go to 6-pound line, and not a lot of people fish that. Split shot, a little finesse worm, and just fish real slow. And you can still get some bites. I don't expect the hard bite, big bite like you usually do on pork, but that's where you catch them with that wacky worm and find a little bit of breeze if there's any. If there's not, just get on the points. And I chased for wind yesterday. It was just so sporadic. You'd have to go from one point to the next and see a little breeze come up on the way to get a bite.
Well, does it affect the live bait fishing just as it does with artificial lure?
Unbelievably, it does. I mean, you wouldn't think it would. You'd think it'd be easy, but they're there, and I know it's there, and you'll get a few bites. There'll be more pushing the bait off the nest if they're not feeding it. I think it's so calm, and when anything hits the water, they just get spooked, and they're not ready to bite them.
When you got fish on the nest, I mean, a lot of people don't realize this. Your mentality really has to change a lot because you have to get more into the mindset that you're gonna marry yourself to a spot. Do you not?
You do. Lake Fork's well known for sight fishing, and man, everybody on the lake that likes that is doing it right now. They're out here with ladders. Ratcheted down to their boat. I saw a guy in a 20-foot ladder the other day. I thought sure he's flipped the boat over. It was so high. but yeah, they run the bank, and the trolling motors are on high. And if you're not the first one or two in the cove, the water gets stirred up. And it's just something that I used to do a lot of, and now only do it if we happen to see a big fish.
Yeah. I had a purist one time tell me that. Bass fishing was the only sport where you were allowed and possibly even encouraged to go after a pregnant mama.
I had never heard that.
Dude.
It is, and some people don't think live bait's fair. Well, probably looking at one on the nest, it kind of rivals that too. But no, you still have to fish, and it is fun to find out what triggers that bite. But some people are very, very good at it.
Well, when you pull up, I mean, and you, I'm sure, have the occasional customer that's what they want to do. How do you know, just by scattering, looking out across a number of beds, how do you know, hey, this one could bite? We need to stay here for a bit.
Well, that's an excellent question because you can spend a lot of time on those that aren't going to bite. And what you do when you're running a trolling motor by, and if you pass over and she stays on the nest or turns right quick and goes back, go on past it and sneak back up on you, can catch that fish. But if it blows off the nest and as you get past it, you don't see her turning around, they're not coming back, I don't waste much time on that.
Would you suggest to anybody that might be over on Rayburn, with the guys this weekend, will somebody probably weigh a big fish that came off a bed?
I wouldn't doubt that at all, especially on the main lake points and a little bit farther down the lake. Our spawn's in about three levels now. We've got a post spawn on the upper end, and we've got some fish that I saw in the nest this morning, and we were catching a big old black crappie right next to them. So we've got them at all stages. We even have some pre-spawn. A buddy caught 11 and a half Saturday on a drop shot and about 8 foot of water, and looked like she was still slap full of eggs.
Wow. Okay, I'm headed to Lake Fork right now. I'm headed that direction. I've been listening to Johnny Geis on the radio. The one thing that I need to take with me if I'm headed that direction now, if I'm going to fish with an artificial lure, I'm going to make sure this is in the boat. What is it?
Well, it's coming now. It hasn't happened yet, but every day I'm throwing a Zara Spook and a Yellow Magic because our topwater bait, the water did hit 70 yesterday, and that's usually the trigger when we have a fantastic topwater bite, and it'll last for about a month. But I tried it again this morning, nothing. But some of the bass are starting to chase off their nests. You see them where they'll chase the brim away.
Mm-hmm.
When that happens, they're ready to topwater bait. I would say go topwater fishing right now. You're coming to the lake.
Are you seeing any fish garden fry yet?
Haven't seen any fry. And that's the water's got stained a little bit where I've been fishing, so I don't expect to see them there. But I do know they have had scalp babies, and they are some of the coves. It's interesting. The main lake is warmer right now than our coves, and that's flip-flop from what it usually is. So we've got the main lake water temperature about 65, 68 degrees right now.
Well, everything's setting up for it to be, as full-blown as you could ask for.
Well, we're expecting any day a big shad spawn, too. That usually comes on the heels of the bass spawn, and it's time for the white birds, the gray herons to be sitting on the points and just gorging on shads right after daylight and on every point on this lake. And that'll start a bite that's very productive. It's a big swim bait bite. It's kind of a big paddle tail swim bait, about 7 inches long, and you can run point to point and pull that out of those sandy points and catch some real big fish.
You just brought up something my grandfather told me a long time ago. He said, son, when you get to watching those birds, he said, those white birds will lie to you. And he said, but that old blue heron, he said, you watch it. He said, that's a fisherman's squirrel dog. Do you agree, disagree?
They were, I pulled out to a point yesterday. I had some young guys with me that they never fished before, and I said, we're going to practice up on some fin bass. And they're so prolific now. I can pull out on any point and take an Alabama rig out and catch them 2 to 3 at a time.
Wow.
And we had a couple of small ones that had got off and it didn't go back down. And these big great cranes, herons were flying around the boat diving on them. Yeah, they're out there watching on the main points. And if you see him on the stump, you better. He's not out there in the sun, so he's seen something happen back there.
All right, give us a tip for the week, Johnny.
Well, the tip this week is don't give up. If you get in this transition period, and I find myself going back to where they were last week, you almost have to get ahead of them right now. And I'm a little bit behind, honestly, and I've got to get down to the lower end of the lake this afternoon and find some new fish. But I'm so tied in on pitching these black salties, and we're still catching 15, 25 bass a day, and a lot of 4 and 5 pounders, but not catching the pot-bellied 6 to 8 pounders that have been. So don't give up when you get in the spring. You just got to stay a little bit ahead of the spawn, or go all the way back to where it started and start throwing the topwater.
Hey, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Johnny, I just wanted to say thank you. You took a friend of mine out, I think last week, Randy Nolan. Took Randy out, great friend of mine, and from Mount Pleasant right there, and he had a trip of a life. He said he had a blast with you.
Yeah, Randy had about 4 fish in the boat, about the first 30 minutes, 4 to 6 pounds, and he caught 26 fish all by himself that day. So he was tired puppy at the end of the day, but we had a ball, and those are the special days that I love to show people what can happen on 4.
Yeah.
Now, Johnny, a question here. If I could only fish a half a day, right now, am I going to do better to fish the second half of the day, or am I going to need to be there at daylight?
Well, I had the same question yesterday, and these guys wanted to come at 2 o'clock and fish at 7. I think we'd have done better to go early. I really do. It just seems like our bites pressure in the morning, especially on a lake that catches so much pressure. And I believe that's it more than anything, because we have so many boats running the coves now. If you get a bad wind, everybody's in the protected areas. So I like to get in there early and get the bite out of the way fast. So it really doesn't matter. The best time to go fishing is when you can get there.
Amen.
There you go.
Lake Fork guy, Johnny Geis. Okay, we want to book a trip with Johnny Geis. What have we got to do?
Just call me at 972-800-3882. 972-800-3882. Or on the web, that's lakeforkbigfish.com.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Johnny, every week I look forward to that, because I know at any point the week's going to come when Johnny says, oh, my Lord, you should have been here yesterday. The only time better than yesterday is right now.
I just cleaned 5 big old slab crappie. That's what the guy wanted to catch this morning, and even that bite was a little bit off. Kind of got a bluebird day, but they were 5 2-pound crappie, so that was a lot of fun too. So we're pretty flexible. If you want to catch sand bass, crappie, brim will be bedded up pretty soon, or there's easy as bass. Come on, let's go fishing.
Hey, what's the population, when you mentioned the brim, what's the population of the cheeky pins over there?
Not as good as Toledo and some Louisiana lakes. We have some red ear spawns, and they'll be nesting up anytime. I'm watching for them pretty close, but they're not as large as they are on some lakes, ones I've catching.
Okay.
Bluegill, they'll rival any of them.
Fantastic. Johnny Geis, he's at Lake Fork. If you've got any question, how do I get hold of Johnny Geis? Anything along those lines, of course, we've got it on our website. We'll be able to direct you. We've got a link over there to his site, phone numbers, the whole 9 yards. Check it out, hutd.net. Thank you, brother, once again this week.
All right, talk to y'all next week.
You betcha. Okay, I'm still here in the studio. The boys are at Sam Rayburn. They're getting ready for the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash. We'll visit with them again here in just a minute, hooking up and tracking down 11:30, The Tiger.
Hello, I'm Troy Umbehagen. We at Natchitoches Nursing and Rehabilitation proudly support and watch TV17's local programming.
The Natchitoches Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Victor Jones encourage all citizens to remember So be safe, buckle up, and remember, no Texans.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities, such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge.
Let's go eat at Hana's Steakhouse and Sushi Bar. They have all of our old favorites, or we could get something a little more exotic, like the Hibachi Grill, conveniently located at 814 Kaiser Avenue.
Now back to the trio that think they're a hero, but they're really a zero. Steve, Gary, and Mike.
Gary McCoy here in the studios, 1130 The Tiger, of course, on the road hanging out with, I'm just going to call him King Bass, Bob Seeley himself. It's the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash at Lake Sam Rayburn. And have you guys got Bob with you again?
We've got Bob with us, and real quick, I want to also do a little promo for the new Honda Yamaha Village in Natchitoches. It's now Natchitoches Power Sports. Formerly Honda Yamaha Village of Natchitoches, and guys, they're carrying a whole new line of ATVs. It's the Arctic Cat. So make sure you go by, see Leighton Palmer and the gang right there at Natchitoches, and Natchitoches Power Sports, located right there on the banks of Cane River and in Natchitoches, and go see Leighton Palmer and the gang. Give them a call at 352-8174, area code 318-352-8174, and tell them you heard about it on Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
You know what, this weekend, I guarantee you there's a bunch of guys that are going to be stopping by Natchitoches Power Sports headed to that the Trucks Gone Wild, Louisiana Mud Fest going on in Colfax down there this weekend.
Oh, that'd be a big event.
Yeah. Okay, here at Lake Sam Rayburn, there's going to be several big fish that are caught.
And there'll be a couple of people here.
Yeah. Bob tells us a little while ago that if you take advantage of all the initiatives that are out there and the whole world comes together, one person could walk away with $370,000 in cash money.
But Bob's got this shocked look on his face, like, did I really say that?
I think it was $287,000.
Maybe, hey, Bob, just stick with me on this. We're going to make it real valuable, okay?
Oh, no, that's scary. Hey, I hope you got your tent wig ready. There's $287,000 exactly. If everything came into play,
right?
That's for one fish.
Okay, I want you to tell me what bait, if Bob Seeley was fishing all 3 days of it, what bait is he going to make sure he's got in the boat?
I'm not saying this because they're a player with you guys, but I don't mind telling you, I'd probably pick up a Santone swim jig.
Amen. That'd been my first choice.
I would probably, especially, we've had fronts that's been knocking fish back about the time they get ready to come in and stuff, and then all of a sudden, here's warming up, and you get into that 3 to 5 foot, water with grass and all this, and you start throwing that swim jig, and you tick the grass and whatever, and the water clarity is not bad whatsoever. I've just seen way too many good fish at this time of the year caught on a swim jig, better than have just about any other time of the year.
Hey, Gary, I got a story to tell you. 2 years ago, we were over here covering this event. After we were through doing the show, Bob and I, we got off. This lady came up and she said, do you have a recommendation of a bait to go? I'm headed for Need More Tackle. Do you have a bait I can go and pick up? What would you suggest? I said, baby, I would get the white and black Sandtone swim jig, and I'd get about 4 or 5 of them, and I'm telling you right now, you will absolutely, and you can put on there as a trailer speed crawl, a white speed crawl behind it, and I'm telling you right now, you'll catch all the fish you want. She came back 2 days later. I was over here for Sunday weigh-in. We were videoing the Sunday weigh-in. She came up to me after the tournament. She said, I just want to say thank you. I said, why? She said, we won about $1,000 this weekend because of that bait. She said every fish we put in the boat was on that Sandtone swim jig. I just want to say thank you. I said, well, that made me feel good. I was like, well, I actually helped somebody.
Yeah, Gary, I would definitely have to say that, if I was going to fish this tournament, or fish the tournament this time of the year, and especially here at Raven, or even at Toledo Bend because of the grass and all, the grass is going to be the key. I wouldn't be hesitating to be throwing that swim jig. Of course, I also like a Senko, and I'm a freak with Senko, but I don't know. I think that we're going to see a double-digit figure win this event. I think we're going to see more than one double-digit figures. There's when you get this many anglers on a tournament, I just want to see the ones that got away. That's because I promise you, I'm going to hear the stories, and I do every year, and I know some of them are true.
Speaking of stories, real quick, something sticks out in Bob Seeley's mind. Now, I know this is your biggest payout ever.
Yes, sir.
But there's got to be a story. I mean, we know the Oklahoma State Trooper won the tournament on Lake Fork and got DQ'd for being a moron. Other than that,
he listens to the show every week.
Well, okay, I'm gonna stay in Texas.
Well, you just can't fix stupid.
Yeah, give us a Bob Seeley story on one of these tournaments.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one of the most emotional stories that ever happened at my event was a gentleman by the name of Simon O'Quinn. He had been a construction worker for a number of years, been out of work for 9 months. Get this.
Guy at Toledo Bend?
No, he was here at Rayburn. And he had 8 kids from the age of 3 to 13.
Wow.
He took part of his grocery money without telling his wife and entered this tournament, borrowed his father-in-law's John boat. And he had never fished a tournament before in his life. And I don't mind telling you, he put in over here at the Twin Knights Park boat ramp.
Yeah.
And caught a bass over 9 pounds. Asked somebody, said, can you tell me where I can weigh this one in? They said, yeah, right around the corner. And he comes in, well, he wins that tournament. I don't mind telling you, there wasn't a dry eye out in that audience.
Wow.
Because the check that I gave him was $47,500, which was more money he never made in 1 year in his whole life. And see the expression on his face, his wife's face, and to see those kids, you just know that what you just did, you changed his life forever. And
they did. They kept him out of the hospital because she found out about that money. She got the crap out of him.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, I don't know about that, but
that's incredible.
One guy, guys, we failed to mention one important thing that I have a passion with, and I'm not trying to take up a lot of your time, but our tournament benefits the Ronald McDonald House and Select McDonald's Charities. And we've helped. We've been very fortunate. We've helped out a lot of families over the years for educating them about the Ronald McDonald House that used it, And I know that we've approached over $8 million that what we've actually raised in almost 30 years, and but that doesn't include the outside contribution stuff because of the efforts of educating people and things like this. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I have something else that I'm working on that I'm going to add to that next year. I think it's a done deal. I'm not 100%, but I'm going to add St. Jude with it.
Wow.
The Ronald McDonald House and St. Jude have a lot in common. For the simple reason, in Memphis, Tennessee, there's a Ronald McDonald House right next to St. Jude. And, St. Jude does not turn down one single child.
Right.
No money. It does not turn down. And it costs $1 million a day to operate St. Jude. And if you want to know the history of St. Jude, folks like Chris Young, who's going to be our entertainer, and and do the grand finale Sunday, tell you a little bit about St. Jude, because I can assure you, Chris can give you a tour of St. Jude Hospital better than most employees there can. He's a major supporter, and he is the one that asked me to talk to him. And we have, and I'm pretty excited about this. It's a possibility that, the two hand in hand can, we can help a lot more children and more families and things in trying times and things like this. Remember, a lot of these children that go to St. Jude and stuff, they don't make it out.
Yeah, they don't come back home.
So
you're exactly right.
So there's a lot more to than just the tournament.
I got to toot your horn. Because Bob, you and I have been friends 25 years.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I have been around, I wish I knew how many tournaments in my life, and I'm not taking anything away from Mike Eccles, because Mike puts on a fantastic tournament.
Yes, he does.
But I'm going to tell you, you are the master. I have never seen anybody in my life make weighing fish so entertaining. I've never seen anybody that combined humor, the sensitivity, the fact that that you're doing something that matters, that you're helping kids, you're helping families of sick children, and at the same time you've got those stories of that individual who took the grocery money and then won the tournament. I saw you give a man a boat one time that you didn't have to, and I remember it like it was yesterday. It was on Toledo Bend. Yeah. Yep. And I've seen you do that. I have never one time seen Bob Seeley not meet or exceed what the tournament expectations were. So, brother, I want you to know I'm the winner when it comes to the relationship that you and I have. I got the better end of that deal, and anybody who has ever fished a Bob Seeley tournament knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I remember, Gary, when I came over the first time 3 or 4 years ago, and we covered this event, we set up in the parking lot on Sunday to do the shoot the final weigh-in, and Bob, nobody had hit the 3.0 or the 4.0 like Friday or Saturday, and there's a gentleman behind me, and Bob started talking about it, and the gentleman behind me said, yeah, he's going to pocket that money. He's going to pocket that money. Hey, it wasn't 10 seconds. Bob said, give me the hopper, we're fixing to draw a name out of this hat until we give all this money away. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And that old boy turned, he didn't know what to say. I just turned and looked at him and I said, there you go. Now, say something again. It stunned him.
You don't know how that makes me feel, and I appreciate that. I really do. But you've seen a commercial on TV, where it says Colonel Sanders got started in a garage, somebody else got started in a garage. The history of what my wife and I did got started in our living room table.
Hooking up track now is still in a garage.
Yeah. But you know what? It sure brings back a lot of memories and things. And let me tell you, sometimes I go back to that garage just to reminisce a little bit and try to tweak things. You're never too old to learn, but you're never too old. My father always told me, he said, son, just remember, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
He said, and if you're ever going to accomplish anything in life, you jump in with both feet and don't look back. Just remember, some you win, some you lose. Hope you win more than you lose.
Yeah.
But if I'm a firm believer, everybody is here on this earth for a purpose, and I hope that I'm helping people, changing people's lives, helping people that need it, and deserve it, and.
Because that's what people remember when you leave this earth, Bob.
Hey, I'm going to tell you
right now how much money you made, Bob. Remember what you made.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is somebody right now that has no idea of how much different their life is going to be Sunday.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, my friend.
They have no idea. They're just living a life. They might be a welder. They might be, a regular weekend angler. But
That's right.
Sunday,
That's right.
Sunday, their life has changed for the better.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I can't wait till my 35th, because I'm going to tell you right now, and I've said this every year, and I've tried to live up to it every year. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Bob Seeley.
We love you, brother.
Nobody does it like Bob Seeley is all I can say.
Amen.
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate you.
Bob Seeley, Big Bass Splash, Lake Sam Rayburn. That's where you'll find Steve Graff and Mike Eccles. We're going to wrap things up here in a minute. They're going to give us a little bit of idea. We're going to make some predictions about this weekend. That's next. Hooking up and tracking down on 1130, The Tiger.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's, and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, midwaymarinastmaurice.com, or call 318-646-0097.
Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had 3-wheelers, I've had 4-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchitoches, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truded transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Here's Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
There at Lake Sam Rayburn, you'll find Steve Graff and Mike Eccles getting ready for the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash. Competition begins Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can fish one day, you can fish 2 days, you can fish all 3 days. What's the entry on that, guys?
Good question.
Hold on, I'll get my secretary to look that up.
Okay, well, y'all are looking that up. Steve, I'm going to visit with you real quick about something, because you've been over on Rayburn fishing most recently amongst the three of us. Pick a pattern. I mean, because I'm going to tell you, it's really a luck thing for you to win and catch the biggest fish that's going to be caught. And so one of the things that I always try to do when I fished Bob's tournaments was to approach it with a mindset that I was going to win 3 hourlies during the day. And there was a lot of years that I did. Me and my buddies, Tommy Wilson and Dan Wilhelm, we would try to catch our fish as early as we could and then pull up to the weigh-in and kind of play the waiting game the rest of the day. We'd weigh this one in when we felt like it had a chance of winning the hour or at least placing high in the hour. So, getting a good pattern could develop a really good payday if you were able to place in 3 hours each day. And that with that mindset, you're going to look for a great pattern. What would you say the lake is setting itself up for? 7 foot, less? What are you going to throw?
Well, I think right now you have to make a decision. Okay, am I going out here and fishing for one big fish, or am I going out here and find a group of fish and try to do well in the hourly weigh-ins and just try to get some money, make some money that way? That's the approach a lot of people take.
Yeah,
they're just trying to catch hourly fish and get a 3-4 pounder in the boat and come weighing in and make $400, $500, $800. Then there's some people out there. They're going way up north, and they're going under both bridges, and they're trailering up there, and they're putting in up there, and if they get lucky and get the big fish in the boat that they're trying to catch, and they're either going to be throwing the Rayburn swim jig is a popular big fish bait over here, as well as just a regular big swim bait, the 6-inch swim bait. If you're trying to catch that big monster, maybe off in 10 to 15 foot of water out there staging, throw a medium depth big swim bait and try to get that big one to bite. A jig, just a regular jig and pig, over here, a jig with a crawfish pattern, crawfish on the back of it, I think will be another bait. I don't think any deep cranking is going to pull up the 10 or 12 pounder over here right now. It's a little bit early for the big crankbait, but in about a month or so. Also, hey, you might get that big bite on it in the morning on Big Zara Spook over here. If you get in the right pocket, in the right cover, the water temperature right, you might find a big female on the bed that hits a big spook early in the morning.
Mm-hmm. You say going north, you'd kind of rule out the jungle then. I mean the forest then.
Yeah, there'd be some guys that'll fish the forest, but again, from the last 2 years, Gary, all the quality big fish have been from the 47 bridge, Highway 47 bridge, on up to the 104 bridge on the other end. That's where all the big fish are coming from over here right now, and that's where a lot of boats will be up there.
But you're saying the big fish, you're talking about the 6, 7, 8 pound fish. Those are not the ones that's going to win the tournament.
No, that's what I'm saying.
The 10 or 11 pound fish is going to win it, and I believe he's going to be caught on Wayne Lake.
Yeah, and it could be.
Going to be caught by somebody that put no planning in it whatsoever.
Right. And it won't be far from Twin Dykes. They're going to be hanging in that
which makes this tournament what it is. Caught by somebody that may have never fished a tournament before. That's what's so good about this. So if you're going to try to plan to catch your hourlies, because who catches a winning fish? There's no planning in that.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but last year the winning fish guys came out of a pocket on a bed in the first 20 minutes of the tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, a kid found it sight fishing. He was sight fishing. He saw the fish on the bed on Friday, and they knew the fish was over 8 or 9 pounds. And he went back to her that morning, and within 20 minutes had that big fish in the boat and won the tournament.
Wow.
Yeah. So somebody may find a bed fish, Gary, over here that's.
Well, I'm just like Mike. That was the way I always approached Bob's tournaments, was that I was going to go in there, and on a 3-day tournament, I was going to win or at least place in 9 hours, 3 each day. Is that still the max 3?
I don't know if they have a limit on it.
Okay. Well, at that time, you can see how long I've been out. At that time, you could only, place in 3 different hours each day.
Yeah, quit asking us technical questions.
We don't sit there with you.
We don't know. Okay. Bob is no longer. Our source of information has left the building.
We don't even know how much it costs.
No. Okay. Well, I think if I remember, isn't it $75 per day? $75 per day.
Sure.
I think that's what it is, Gary. Okay. I think it's $75 per day. You can pay all 3 days up front, or you pay each day. You can pay individually.
But they've got like 7 hours a day, 12 places an hour. That's 84 times 3, which is like 256 checks. Is that right?
252.
Okay, good enough. I was close. I went to Woodlawn.
Yeah.
But hey, 252 hourly checks.
Yeah.
How can you almost come over here?
They've got the bonus hours. If you go into that, some of those hours will be 15 places per hour.
Exactly. Hey, and real quick, I got to get this in. May 14th, Black Lake, Clear Lake Citizens Committee is having a meeting about the giant salvania on Black Lake, Clear Lake, and how bad it is. They've even got LSU Ag Research Center Professor Stephen Masinski is going to be coming in there and giving a presentation on May 14th. It's going to be at Lakewood Inn. So if nothing else, go there, have a great meal. I'm going to be there. We're going to televise it. We're going to cover it with the KNTS TV station, and we'll also have Don on hopefully the week before that event, and so we can get a little more detail as to how bad, which we all know how bad it is. But Black Lake Clear Lake Citizens Committee is getting more aggressive, and supposedly they've got a weevil now that will handle the cold that's already here in our area. They just got to figure out a way to get more of them and reproduce this weevil in mass consumption.
And May the 1st is a Thursday night. That is our next Landers Ram Cash Splash Thursday night tournament out on Cross Lake. They have lifted the slot April the 20th, last Sunday. The slot is now no longer in effect on Cross Lake. So May the 1st, we're going to have our Thursday night tournament. 2 days after that, we will have the 4th and final Landers Ram Boss Tournament Trails presented by Bayou Outdoors. That will be out of the American Legion on Cross Lake. We'll have that May the 3rd, and that'll send us into the June 6th and 7th 2-day championship, where we'll give away a Ranger Ranger fiberglass boat and a Ranger aluminum boat. That'll be in June 6th and 7th. So
take us home, Steve Graff.
All right, there are tournaments, and then there's the Bob City Big Bass Splash. Not all tournaments are the same. Bob City's giving away $1 million in cash and prizes. But for Bob, it's not about the money he's giving away. It's about giving to those less fortunate than himself, the Ronald McDonald House, a charity that's near and dear to Bob's heart. Not many people do things for the right reasons, but Bob City continues to amaze all of us with his heart and desire to give to a great cause. Thank you, Bob City, for all that you do and for being a great example. Till next week, may God bless. We'll see you next week with more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities such as trap, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecore Bridge.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? It's like wearing your high school letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Welcome back to this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down Tip of the Week. I'm Ranger Boat Pro Staffer Steve Graff. Over the years, I've had a lot of products that I have purchased to add on to my boat. Anything from trolling motors to electronics. There's nothing that's come out in the last 25 or 30 years better than the Minn Kota Shallow Water Talon Anchoring System. This is a unit that'll go down up to 8 feet. It will anchor you tight to where you're at. It'll lock you down. If you're brim fishing, if you're white perch fishing, you gotta have one of these. If you're a bass fisherman, like to sight fish, you can drop this thing down, locks you in place. You can sit there and sight fish for that one bass all day long and not have to pick up the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchoring System. You can leave it down, fish that one sight fish, and you're ready to move, go to the next fish, hit the up button, comes right up. The best feature about this Minn Kota Talon system, it's all enclosed in this unit. No pumps go in the boat, nothing else. Everything is tied directly in this unit. So the next time you get ready to purchase a shallow water anchoring system, check out the Minn Kota. It's the best one on the market. I highly recommend it. And you can get them at Toledo Fiberglass or Bayou Outdoor Supercenter in Bossier City. Hello everybody, Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff with the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. Folks, there's nothing I love more than my Rhino. I've had 3-wheelers, I've had 4-wheelers, but if you want the best of the best, you need to get you a Rhino 700 from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches. My Rhino does more than take me to and from the deer stand. It is a great utility vehicle around your house. You can use it for all kinds of stuff, including yard work. I've got it loaded down right here. But one of the best features of the Rhino, it's got a dump bed right in the back of it. So go see the guys at Honda Yamaha Village of Natchitoches, Chip, Layton, and the gang over there, and let them show you the new Yamaha 700 series from Honda Yamaha Village right here in Natchitoches.
The Natchitoches Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Victor Jones encourage all citizens to remember to be safe, buckle up, and remember, no texting.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49. has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Santone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana.